I'm Jamie Hooper with Remax Crest and JamieHooper.com, and today we're going to do a little statistical analysis about the Greater Vancouver real estate market, just to dive into it and give you some ideas about what you don't read about in the papers. But before we do that, I'd just like to remind you, if you get any value out of these videos, enjoy them at all, maybe just click on a thumbs up, make a comment, or even subscribe to our YouTube channel if you feel like it. So, as I said earlier, we're going to dig into the real estate statistics in the Greater Vancouver real estate market here. Before we do that, I just want to go over what we've been seeing in the media for the past 6 months about how slow the market is, and it's been the worst month. For instance, October was the third worst October in the last 10 years, and on and on and on. But what they don't do is they don't dissect it a little more and go a little deeper to tell you what portions of the market are busy and which aren't, and why they're busy and why they're not busy. So this first graph we see up here is for the detached housing market in a few areas that I've picked out here. Now, certain parts, the lower end of all of these markets are sellers markets. Now, how can that possibly be? Well, what a seller's market is determined by is if more than 20% of the properties sell in a month, it is deemed to be a seller's market. So you can see in the west side of Vancouver, up to 3.5 million, if you list your house, 34% of those properties sold in October, seller's market. Vancouver East Side, 40% of the houses below 1.75 million sold, seller's market. Ladner, the entire market's a seller's market, and go through the rest of them. All of those markets below those price points you see there are seller's market conditions. Now flipping over to the next graph here, this is quite interesting. So what it says today on this graph is at the time of recording this email, there are 578 houses for sale on the west side of Vancouver. So we're going to come back to that number in a bit. The next thing you see is the sales figures, the overall sales figures going back for 60 days, between September 18th and November the 16th. And what it tells us is overall, the average days on the market for a house that sold on the west side was 39 days on the market. That was the average. The percentage that they got of their list to sell price was 93% of the listing price is what they got selling, and 12% of these homes, excuse me, sold with multiple offers. That's interesting. We've got a declining market, but those lower end properties, some of them are still getting multiple offers. Now, if we look for the ones that were on the market less than 39 days, they sold in less than 39 days. The average days on market for these ones were 15 days. These houses all sold within 2 weeks. They got 95% of the asking of the list on the list to sell ratio. So if they were listed for $1 million, the average place got $950,000, and 16% of those got multiple offers. Then if we go to the ones that were on the market more than 39 days, typically the ones that were overpriced and they got lucky and got their house sold after 39 days. The average days on market was 112 days, getting close to 4 months on the market to get these properties sold. They only got 90% of their posted listing price. And what I mean by that is some of these properties had been taken off the market and relisted 2 or 3 times, and I don't have that accounted for. So they really got a lot less than their original asking price. They got 90% of their most current price. And 88% of these houses on the market, this is real interesting, 88% of those properties that were on the market more than 39 days had to reduce their price to get it sold. We're going to come back to this in a bit towards the end, but it makes no sense to overprice your home. All you do is cause yourself pain and suffering and cost yourself money. So that's the interesting part about that. Now, if we have a look, I just picked out, I wanted to show you the townhouse duplex market and give you an example of that. So this is the east side of Vancouver I picked out, which is typically been, east side of Vancouver and North Van are this part of the market is very active. So again, for the townhouse duplex market on the east side, overall, 22 days on market average for these places to sell. they're talking about a crashing market. That's just not happening. 97% of them, 97% of their selling. They got 97% of what they were asking for. If they were asking for $1 million, they got 970,000. 27% of the overall properties, townhouses and duplexes on the east side, got multiple offers. And that's taking the overpriced ones into account. So of the ones that were on the market less than 22 days, the average days on market was 8. That means that these things are selling fast. They got 99% of their asking price on average, and 42% of them got multiple offers. This is stuff that you do not hear about in the media because they don't know how to dissect these numbers as well. And then if you have a look for the ones that have been on the market more than the average selling time, which was 22 days, the average for those ones was 44 days. They only got 95% of their selling price as compared to 99% of the ones that sold quickly. Only 5% of these properties had multiple offers, and that's how you get above your asking price. 42% of the ones that were priced properly sold, and then 48% of these people had to reduce or relist their price. So very interesting breakdown there. So what I'm trying to tell you is it makes no sense to overprice your home. When I go in and talk to someone and he or she tells me I'm in no hurry to sell, well, that doesn't make a lot of sense when the market's declining. In a rising market where prices are continuing to go up, maybe they'll get lucky if they're not way overpriced, and eventually the market will catch up to them and then they'll get sold. In a declining market, it goes the other way. The last point that I want to make is sellers are the ones that control how many showings you get. Everybody thinks, oh, my realtor's doing a bad job if I'm not getting any showings. Hey, if you've got your house listed right now and you're not getting any showings, the odds of it being the realtor's fault are probably 1%, and the odds of it being the price's fault are probably 99%. The price controls the volume of your showings, and the seller controls the price of the home. I'm Jamie Hooper with Remax Crest and jamiehooper.com. I'd like to thank you for listening to this video, and please don't forget to subscribe or click the thumbs up, and we look forward to talking with you again real soon.